Putin is the devil. He's a war criminal. His invasion of his neighboring sovereign nation is as barbaric as it is unjustified. And now his brutality has struck the Fox News family. A team led by our correspondent Benjamin Hall was attacked, grievously wounding the correspondent, the person you see there in the foreground, Pierre Zakshevsky, his cameraman, killed. Sasha Kushnova, their local producer and translator and guide, also killed. So we lost two. Benjamin, as I mentioned, grievously injured. We pray for him. We send our condolences, our deep condolences. There you see Sasha in the background, that little person, just 24 years old, dead now, as is the cameraman in this photo. Pierre Zakshevsky, dead. It's just awful. We pray for Benjamin. We send him our condolences for the loss of his colleagues, our colleagues. It's something that is deeply heartfelt. I want you to know that we are a family and we mourn this loss. War is not the romantic panorama you see in the movies. It's ugly, it's dirty. And these fine people now, struck down in the prime of their lives, just a child, 24 years old, and Benjamin Hall, in the fight for his life. It is, Judge, something that is so appalling. I'm so angry, and at the same time, I feel so helpless to do anything about it.
Well, so many people are feeling helpless. And Greg, I mean, at some point, America has to start drawing a red line.
Well, I want to talk about Ben, but first, the fact that Joe is announcing that he's going to Europe next week. No, this is what we're talking about. This is what we need is audacious diplomacy right now. Is there some kind of like a special episode of Matlock that he's watching, that he's too busy? Does he want to stick around here for St. Patrick's Day? No, he should be on a plane right now, meeting with the very top players, with other top players of the country. Not this casual diplomacy and back-patting is just disgusting. As for Ben, I spoke to him last week at length after we had our little kerfuffle. And the thing that pisses me off most about him is that he's handsome and he's funny. And we joked about what went on the five. And I'm not going to say what we talked about it because, frankly, it's nobody's business. But he did say something that I agreed with 100%. And he said, Greg, you can't do my job and I can't do yours. And I said, duh. My job is way easier. I'm not in any danger. I do get death threats, but they're usually from Dana on pink stationery. But we can afford to pontificate because we're here thousands of miles away. They can't afford to pontificate at all because they're always in danger. And that's kind of been my lodestar. As Geraldo said, war is the worst thing that you can imagine. That's what we do here. We imagine. But what Ben and his coworkers do, they don't imagine it. They actually see it, which is why when I'm sitting here, for me, I must be as anti-war as possible until I can no longer be anti-war. Because it's like those TV hosts that were telling you to stay home indefinitely during COVID because they still worked. They still got their damn paychecks. They got the camera crew coming to their house. They were divorced from their consequences. That is the same thing here. It is easy to talk about war at home. As Geraldo says, it's not romantic. But since I'm not going anywhere near the war, I'm sure as hell not going to tell a single person to go there and die in a foreign country. I learned that lesson with Iraq. And I'm never going to go through that again. Ben's job is to go there and delineate the truth through imagery. It is harder to do now than ever, given social media, the internet, the rise of constant disinformation. But if you're sitting here at this table, you must be a radical skeptic because you aren't there. Ben is. And I hope to God he makes it through. It's a horrible thing that happened to him. And to sound British, he's a lovely guy.